Who's going to win Comeback Player of the Year? Dak Prescott, the favorite to win the award. Prescott missed the final 11 games of the 2020 season after sustaining a season-ending ankle injury in Week 5. Suffered a compound fracture and dislocation of his right ankle that required surgery. This season, Prescott top 10 in the NFL in completion percentage, passing yards, and touchdown to interception ratio with 32 and 10. Joe Burrow, plus 130. Having a heck of a season, coming back from a torn ACL and MCL in his left knee. He suffered in Week 11 of his rookie season, was ready by Week 1 this season, then led the Bengals to their first division title since 2015. All right, back here with Kenny White, Emory Hunt. Get your pick to win Comeback Player of the Year. Kenny, start with you. Who do you like?
Yeah, it's tough. You made a great case for both guys. Tearing your MCL and ACL for Joe Burrow. I know he only missed 5 games last year, but those 2 injuries are very serious, and to be able to bounce back like that's a great year. But Dak missed 11 games, and I think his comeback here this year and the turnaround that the Cowboys have been that good from the beginning of the year till now. They've had the better record, the better season. I think it's Dak Prescott minus $1.60.
I'm shocked at this question because it seems like most people talk about is Aaron Rodgers coming back to the Packers or Tom Brady coming back for another run at the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. But this is a true Comeback Player of the Year war between Dak and Joe Burrow. But I feel like Dak hasn't been talked about as missing last year. I feel like we've bypassed that and kind of expected him to be like he has been. What hasn't been expected is what we're seeing now from the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going with Joe Burrow winning the Comeback Player of the Year award. And it's not a knock to Dak because he's been phenomenal. But I feel like people have, all right, yeah, that's Dak. He's good. He's always going to be good. But Joe Burrow and what he's done with this Bengals offense and his team in general has been outstanding. I think that momentum, especially later on in the season, what we're seeing in these guys now in this tremendous run, will propel him to the top of this list.
Kenny, do you think it's because that Dak missed more games last season? Like that's what's going to be the deciding factor among the voters?
That was kind of my thought about it, and you know what? That's where I was actually going with it. And then when you talked about Joe Burrow and a torn MCL and ACL, because I kind of felt like Burrow had 2/3 or almost 3/4 of a season last year, missed the last 5 games, that was my feeling that Dak missed far more. So I could be wrong on that, but I also think about when you're looking at the betting odds this late in the year, minus 160 to plus 130. It's a pretty good size favorite. So somebody knows something. This isn't bookmakers just putting a number up. They're getting bet into this line, and only people betting into it really kind of have some information and kind of an idea of who really will win this award. So, it wouldn't shock me if Burrow won it, though, because what you just told, about the big injuries. But I'll side with Dak still.
Emory, and you got to consider the recency bias, right? Because Joe Burrow, you saw what he did last week against the Chiefs. 446, 4 touchdowns, hooked up with Jamar Chase multiple times in that game as he set a rookie record for receiving yards. But you have to remember, Burrow's not playing in Week 18. He's resting against the Browns. Dak Prescott is playing today. Perhaps that goes in to the voters' minds. They see, hey, he's playing in Week 18, Dak Prescott. Burrow's not.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I feel like the recency bias for a lot of these voters would have stopped at Week 17. They'll just remember what we saw from Joe Burrow. Because remember, a lot of these same writers wrote off Jamar Chase after he dropped some passes in training camp practice are now the same writers that are saying, hey, he is a clear-cut Rookie of the Year. So they're going to trump that as well by giving Joe Burrow the Comeback Player of the Year. But that's a great point because Dak is playing. But again, how much does maybe playing a half or if he doesn't play well will sway the minds of these voters? So I think Week 18 to me would be irrelevant in terms of deciding who wins Comeback Player of the Year.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.